Okay, so I've been going down this rabbit hole of actually reading Rockstar and Take-Two's real patents, like the legal documents they filed, and I wanted to rank the ones I found from kinda cool but you'll never notice, all the way up to the ones that actually make me say, okay, this is kinda cool. And just so you know, I'm not gonna pretend I'm some huge insider here. I just went and read this stuff myself, and I want to break it down in a way that actually makes sense, so let's just get into it. At number 10 is a continuous level of detail. Normally in open world games, stuff look great up close, and it turns into a blurry mess the second you're far away from it, because the game swaps in a lower quality version to save performance. This patent is Rockstar trying to keep things looking sharp no matter how far away the camera actually is. I doubt you'll consciously notice it, you'll just never get that classic blurry building moment other open world games have. Number 9 is the anti-cheat patent. This one's actually kind of clever. Instead of just trying to detect cheat tools after the fact, it split game's variables into a descriptor and a scrambled chunk of memory, and encrypts the chunk so cheat softwares can't easily read what it's looking at, even if it's poking around inside the game's memory while it's running. In simple terms, it's basically hiding the answer key instead of just watching for someone trying to cheat off of it. Number 8, and this one's actually been sitting on file since 2013. It's a system for automatically detecting and punishing bad sportsmanship. It combines the game automatically detecting toxic behavior with actual players being able to report each other and using both together to take action. If you've ever had a public lobby ruined by someone just being a nightmare in a jet, torturing everybody, you know why this one's actually kind of a big deal, even though it's not a flashy patent at all. At number 7 is runtime retargeting. This one solves a problem that honestly been bothering open world games forever. Normally, if a short character and a tall character both use the same animation to grab something, the object just floats there for one of them because the animation wasn't built for their specific size. This patent uses something called a runtime constraint solver, like a hand actually has to land on the object, not just get close to it, and it also adjusts joint angles and reach distance in real time to make that happen no matter who's doing it. And it doesn't just stop at body archetypes either, it also applies to what you're interacting with. So getting into a low sports car versus climbing into a lifted truck can actually look like two different physical actions instead of the same repeated animation playing every time. At number 6 is motion capture combined with AI to predict hand and finger movement. So normally hands are one of the hardest things to animate, well, because fingers move fast and overlap a lot, and cameras genuinely struggle to track which finger is which. But this patent pulls data from a wearable glove with finger tracking plus a regular camera, and it all feeds into a neural network trained on a massive amount of real hand movement, and the system predicts the most natural hand position even when the data itself is messy or incomplete. And in my opinion, that's a big deal for stuff like reloading a weapon or lighting a cigarette in a cutscene, the tiny hand stuff that look really bad when it's done wrong. Number 5 is the virtual character locomotion patent. This one breaks movement down into small reusable pieces, kind of like Legos, instead of building one full animation for every situation. A tiny piece like a single footstep is a motion animation block, and a bunch of those combine into a motion type block like a limp or a drunk stumble. And then there's an archetype block that acts like a character's personal animation recipe, deciding how all of that combines by default for one specific person. The system checks what is actually happening to the character in real time, like are they hurt, are they walking through mud, and are they building the animation on the spot instead of using the one pre-made version, meaning a crowd of NPCs reacting to the same explosion or shooting could all stumble differently instead of playing that same flinch animation 20 times in a row. Number 4 is the session management patent, the one about merging and splitting player sessions on the fly so the world feels populated without hard caps or loading screens. It's not a visual flex, it's an entire online infrastructure rebuilt aimed at making sure that GTA Online doesn't feel dead just because of bad luck with matchmaking. In the number 3 spot, hyper-realistic fluid simulation. Things like blood, sweat, dirt, and rain actually flowing and reacting to gravity instead of just being a flat texture. This patent is the kind of thing that's gonna go viral as a random clip with zero explanation needed, because it's just that crazy to see in a video game. You kinda just have to see it moving to get why it matters. Coming in at number 2, and this is honestly one I underrated at first, the game object and environment generation patent. This is a tagging system. Every asset in the game, furniture, clothing, even individual body parts, gets tagged, and the game assembles things using matching tags. For example, you'll never see a dirty sofa in a luxury apartment. But here's the part that actually made me say, okay, this is gonna be in the number 2 spot. This same tagging system applies to NPCs themselves. Okay, picture 50 different pairs of legs, 50 different torsos, 50 different heads, all mixed and matched in real time and dressed to match wherever they spawn. That means a beach crowd in the morning could pull beachwear tags, and in that same stretch on the beach coast, at night it pulls a completely different nightlife tag. It also means disguises could work the same way. A heist outfit or an undercover cop blending in as a normal pedestrian, these would be all generated instead of hand-built one at a time. This is the patent that could actually fix the whole repetitive NPC problem every open world game has had forever. And number one, the one that actually made me stop and reread it because I couldn't actually believe it was real. There's a patent, actually a whole group of them going back years, that's literally about changing the game world based on where you actually are in real life. Like detecting your real world location somehow and having that affect what actually happens in the game. And I want to be super clear, I have no idea if this actually shows up in GTA 6 in any real way. It could end up being nothing more than a small promo thing tied to an event, but just knowing that this patent exists, held by the company making the biggest game ever, is genuinely the wildest thing I found while researching this. So that's the full list. 10 real patents from stuff you'll never even notice, all the way up to something that honestly kind of sounds sci-fi. But just to be crystal clear, since I always say this, patents get filed all the time and there's no guarantee everything on the list actually makes it into the game the way it's described here. Some of it might get cut out completely, some of it might show up totally different than expected, but this is real stuff that they actually filed. Let me know if you'd rank these differently. I feel like some of you are gonna disagree with where I put that fluid stuff. Drop your own rankings in the comments, and if you're into this kind of digging through the actual legal documents instead of just repeating whatever everyone else says, stick around because I want to keep doing more of these type of videos. And until next time, my friends,